Hi everybody, my name is Andrew and I want to welcome you all to my garden. Today I want to take just a few minutes of your time to kind of go over just how awesome and fulfilling and how important it is that people get back in touch with their roots, do some more gardening in their lives. The whole thing about gardening is that it's like biology, it's a big cycle. Things grow, they produce and they flourish, and then most importantly they start to decay and die off so that the next generation can start. All those big, bright, green, floral, vegetable gardens that you see in the videos and on magazine pages, that's not always how it is. And so this is how it is part of the time. So if you'd come a few months before, it would have been way greener, way bigger, but it caught me at a downtime. But I want to show you something really cool. We know that the fun part of any gardening experience is the produce. You get to make your own food. How cool is that? But, every plant that makes a fruit or a vegetable, it takes up nutrients from the soil, right? So it needs those nutrients and it produces the fruit and vegetables that we eat. But what happens to the nutrients, right? They get taken out, what replaces them? And so that is what I want to show you. It's the most important part of gardening in any sustainable process. It's how can you keep it going? And so we do that with compost. So compost is essentially rotting organic matter, as you can see there. And so these flies and bacteria and fungi, they're breaking it all down and they're making it into this rich, nutrient-dense stuff. When it is perfect, it's going to look like garden soil. So what goes into compost, right? We're talking about food scraps, yard clippings, wood chips, no meats though. So no meat, no oils or greases, no way. Keep them out of your compost. That's not the kind of bacteria that we want. You don't have to have a big fancy box like this. You can even lay it out in a pile. The idea being is that you will set it up into a pile and you'll let nature do its course, right? So you'll let the bacteria and the fungi start to slowly break it down, and then every now and then you want to turn and rotate your pile. This allows air to come through, and so for the bacteria, they need air, like us, to help break down it even more. As cool as it is to have a garden and to grow your own food, it's only going to last for so long. So it needs to be a sustainable process. That means something you can repeat over and over again while still getting the same results, right? So if we were to remove the compost element of it with this garden, the garden might do well for a couple of years. It'll get good yields, but it'll start to get smaller and smaller. And that's because there isn't any nutrients there. It's not a sustainable process. So we make it sustainable that way. Think about how many trips to the grocery store you have to take in your life, right? I'm sure you've gone to a few, and you see all the produce that's there. It comes from somewhere else, most of it. So they fly it in, they truck it in, they boat it in. Now, think about how much carbon gets released into the atmosphere during that process, right? Let alone to actually grow it and do it, to sort it out, to put it in trucks and to send it there. There's a lot of steps. So by having your own garden, you cut out the middleman altogether. Your carbon footprint are literally just the footprints you leave in your garden as you go and pick your own stuff. And if you make it sustainable, you do it over and over again, the more people that do that, the less resources that we need to make our food. So think back to March and April with the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm sure some of you went to the grocery stores and saw a food shortage, right? Stuff that you normally expect to see on the shelves like pasta, potatoes, onions are all of a sudden gone, right? There was a real scarcity there. But by having your own garden, that also provides food security for you, right? So sustainability is a complicated process because it involves a lot of different areas, but it's all related to each other, just like the garden. The more signs of life that you see, from earthworms to ants, ladybugs, aphids, all of them play an intricate part with each other in this really complex ecosystem. Doesn't matter how small it is, it's still an ecosystem. So that's a great sign to tell if you have a healthy garden or not. Now, granted, they might take a little bit of food out of your garden, but they don't eat much.